Okay, so what we're making is chocolate banana muffins, but with a twist with loaded veggies, not veggies, loaded proteins rather. And so it starts with my homemade protein powder. And if you want to know more about that, give me a call, private message me, whatever. So anyway, you take about a cup of that. So it looks a little bit like so. Right, I'll show you up closer. Yeah, so that's the powder. Loads of goodness in it. Black beans, chickpeas, chia seeds, lentils, almonds, mixed nuts, spirulina, the list goes on. So like all the superfoods, whatever a superfood is. It's like Superman, I don't know, we're super people, all of us, just in what we can do. Anyway, almond flour. This is about 3/4 of a cup by the time I'm done here. So throw that in. There's your flour, right? Which is nut-based, plant-based, and all-based, kind of good high protein and loads of omega-3s and all that kind of stuff, right? So anyway, that in there. Before we get going too far on that, some coconut oil. Melt it ahead of time and use to just freshen up your baking tins and getting it so that it doesn't stick. So that's that. Put that over there. And in with your flour, we're going to give that a little stir with one of my most favorite spoons. Oh, it's just got like the most perfect angle to it. Anyway, so stir that all up. And I'm going to get my fingers in there because it's in clumps because it was frozen. The almond oil was frozen. Or almond flour. And so in this, we're only going to use a little bit of maple syrup for sweetness. But I don't know for sure, but I think coconut sugar in its grainy lightness just adds something to the texture, much less the taste. So I'm going to put about, 2 teaspoons of coconut sugar in it. And now the baking soda, which you would normally put in here, my mom, when she made anything chocolate, which this is going to be chocolate banana, she took the baking soda and she actually put it in with hot water and cocoa and did that kind of method, and it gets it, I think that's part of what gave it the fudgy taste to it. So I'm just heating up some almond milk in place of water for some little more nutrient-packed foods there. And once it's a bit heated, I'm going to add about a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda to it and about 2 tablespoons of really rich, good cacao powder. And so that should up the antioxidants for that. And so in the oven, what we have is it being preheated at 350. But I put my bananas in there because they were ripe, but not quite as ripe as I wanted them. And so I'm going to mash them up in quick order here. They're going to be a little hot for me actually. So I'm going to get them out of their skins and get them mashed up. So I'm just cutting the skins off of them here. And I didn't know to do that. You know, I was talking to my brother-in-law, Tim, and he told me that when he makes banana bread, if the bananas aren't quite ripe enough, ta-da, he puts them in the sun, which in our case is the oven. So they're all out. And we're going to mash it up a little bit. And then, you know, lots of times people put eggs in things and they don't whip them anymore. But I got to tell you, I think it's really important to have your egg at room temperature if possible, which is usually not the case. So in my wet bowl, I'm going to take 1 egg and I'm going to separate it, right? And I'm going to get the whites in this bowl. So for those of you that don't separate eggs, you don't do it that way. Okay, that's my last egg too. Okay, so I'm gonna try and scoop up some of that yolk. There we go. Just enough that I can have the whites left over so I can give them a whisk. Because if you don't whisk your whites, you just don't get as fluffy of a result in your batter. So I'm gonna do that. Now this milk is getting nice and warm. So in the milk, here, I'll pull you over a little bit. You probably can't see, but on a pot on the stove here, I've got my milk. I'm going to put my baking soda right in there. And we're going to use our egg fork And we're gonna give that a little whisk. We're gonna whisk that soda into the hot liquid. And then we're gonna whisk the chocolate, the 2 tablespoons of cacao into that. And once we whisk that into there, and give that a good little go. You're laughing at how messy I am, I know. Okay, then we're gonna pour that into the liquid. Ta-da! And then we are going to put in our banana. Ta-da! So it goes in there as well. And then we're going to put in, just into our dry ingredients, a little smidgen of salt. You don't need much. And this is about a tablespoon and a half of liquefied coconut oil. I'm gonna move you over. And about the same amount, about a tablespoon, let's say, and a half, so equal amounts to make 3 tablespoons of fat is 1 of olive oil, and then just do another little half. There we go. And that's our fat in our beautiful mixture. And then, you know what? I'm gonna put about, I don't know, 2 tablespoons, 3. Let's go with 3 tablespoons of maple syrup. That'll depend on how thick and rich your maple syrup is, maybe. And then just a half of a teaspoon, let's say, half a capful of vanilla. And we're gonna give that a whisk. Let's see, what are we gonna use for that? I don't like any of those options. There we go. I definitely don't like that. I'm just gonna use that. Where are all my nice big forks? This will work. Here we are. This is what I'm looking for. Okay, we're gonna give that a little whisker, right? And it is messy. Now, I just wanna make sure that I remembered everything. So yeah, we did that. We got that, we got that, we got that, we got that, we got that. I think we're good, you know, I really do. So I'm gonna give that a little whisker. And then we are going to put in our whites. Give them another little final whisk. Put in those egg whites. So we have 1 egg separated and whisked. You don't even have to do that. You have about 3/4 of a cup of almond milk. You don't need to heat it like I did. About 2 tablespoons of cacao powder and a couple of mashed ripe bananas. Your fat is 3 tablespoons of avocado oil. You could do, I did a mixture of coconut oil and olive oil, both good for you. And really that's all that's in there. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. And in here is about a half a teaspoon of soda, which I put in the hot mixture. You could put it in your dries. A cup of the protein powder, so it's got loads of lentils and goodness, all good food. And some nut flour. Okay, and then just pour your wets right in there with your dries. Like so. And then just take your big fork, give it a little swirl, and it's starting to look like this, folks. It smells good, and it's got a nice light flavor, nice fluff to the batter. I think we're doing well. So there we go. As long as we think that's going to be sweet enough, I might add a couple of dates to it because I think I need it a little bit sweeter. So I'm going to add a bit of dates to it. I'm going to fill up the tins, and I'll be back later with what they taste like. So, all right, call me if you want the recipe. Thanks, bye.